Welcome in the 5 days of yoga series. Today's class will be all about hips and hamstrings. Due to the nature of our lifestyle, our hips and hamstrings tend to be a little too tense, too tight, which can cause pain in the low back and in general just discomfort in the body. And today we'll work towards stretching it all out and opening those hips. The only thing you need is your yoga mat, and you can have 2 blocks or thick books if you have them, and that's it. I'll see you on the yoga mat. We'll be starting in the child's pose, so please bring your feet together, your big toes touching, and spread your knees a bit wider than your hips. Extend your arms over your head. Bring your forehead down to the floor and just release your chest down towards the floor. If your hips are not coming all the way down, you can always place a folded blanket between your heels and your hips. Just make it comfortable any way you can. Take a deep inhale through your nose. And let it out through your mouth. Releasing your shoulders, releasing your chest. Maybe walking your hands a tiny bit more forward. Again, taking a deep inhale through your nose. And letting it out through your mouth. One more time, breathing in. And out. And then close your mouth. And continue breathing through your nose. Find a nice, regular breath. Try to make each inhale as long as the exhale. Each of them is about 5 counts long. If you want to breathe in the UJ way, you can always try to breathe like that. Find a little constriction in your throat. Generate a little sound at the back of your throat. Start noticing the space around you. Notice where you are. Notice your physical body. The contact between the floor and the body and the way the gravity is pulling you down. Feeling a strong sense of grounding. Softening into your hips as you exhale. One more breath here, inhale. Exhale. Sending your hips lower towards your heels. With your next inhale, bring your hands next to your shoulders. Use your arms to help you to come into a seated position, and from here we'll come to our Malasana. So step your feet as wide as your yoga mat and then turn your toes to the outside. With your exhale, start lowering your hips down towards the floor, coming into your Malasana. If this is really hard to do because your Achilles are tight, you can always roll up your yoga mat and place the yoga mat underneath your heels. So that would be a good way to modify this position. Bring your hands to the center of your chest, and instead of sagging down, try to lengthen your spine, lift your hips higher, press your chest forward. Use your arms to press your thighs to the outside. Press down through the outer edges of your feet, holding here, lifting the butt a tiny bit higher for 3, feeling the engagement in your glutes and in your thighs, 2, and 1. Bringing your hands down to the floor, you can extend your legs and step your feet back, coming to your downward facing dog. Bend your knees, do whatever you want to do in your downward facing dog. Always try to see what feels nice, what feels good today, and then do that. So we're always trying to create a sort of, intelligence in our body. We're trying to learn how to listen to what we want to do, how does our body feel, and what can we do for our body to feel a bit better. So creating that sense of, or sound of connection. Okay, and then coming into a still downward facing dog. Press with your hands into the floor. Keep your fingers spread. Upper arms rotating to the outside, lengthening your spine, lifting your hips higher, belly stays in. Always bending your knees if you need to. If you don't need to bend your knees to keep your spine long, then press your heels into the floor and let this define the lifting of your pelvis. One more breath, inhale. Exhale. With your next inhale, lift your right foot into the ceiling. And as you exhale, step with your right foot between your hands. Bring your left knee down to the floor. Arms over your head, low lunge. Press your hips forward, squeeze your inner thighs. Exhale, release your hands down to the floor. And try to extend your right leg as much as you can. Flex your right foot, reach with your chest forward. Don't round your back. Inhale, bend your right knee. Exhale, step your feet back, plank pose. Chaturanga, bend your elbows. Upward facing dog, inhale, open your chest. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lifting your left leg towards the ceiling. Try to keep your left leg extended. Exhale, step with your left foot between your hands. Right knee goes down to the floor. Arms over your head, low lunge. Squeeze your inner thighs. Send your hips forward. Exhale, release your hands down. Extend your left leg, flex your left foot. Half splits. Inhale, bending your left knee. Exhale, step back, plank pose. Chaturanga, bend your elbows. Upward facing dog, inhale, open your chest. Downward facing dog. Exhale. Again, inhale. Lift your right leg up to the ceiling. Keep your right knee straight. Come to your left tippy toes. Exhale, step with your right foot between your hands. Left knee goes down to the floor. Arms over your head, low lunge. Push your hips forward, open your chest. Exhale, release your hands down to the floor. Extend your right leg, flex your right foot. Inhale, bend your right knee. Exhale, step with your right foot back, plank pose. Bend your elbows, chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Inhale, open your chest. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg reaches up towards the ceiling. Keep your left knee straight. Exhale, step with your left foot between your hands. Right knee goes down to the floor. Arms over your head, low lunge. Squeeze your inner thighs, shift your hips forward. Exhale, release your hands down to the floor. Extend your left leg, flex your left foot. Chest reaching forward. Inhale, bend your left knee. Exhale, hands down, step back, plank pose. Bend your elbows, chaturanga. Upward facing dog as you inhale, open your chest. Exhale, downward facing dog. With your inhale again, lift your right leg up. Keep your hips in one line, shoulders in one line. Extend your right leg. Exhale, step with your right foot between your hands. Left knee down to the floor, arms over your head. Inner thighs squeezing, chest opening up. Exhale, release your hands down to the floor. Extend your right leg, flex your right foot. Half splits. Inhale, bending your right knee. Exhale, step with your foot back, plank pose. Bend your elbows, chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Inhale, opening the chest. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your left leg up to the ceiling. Exhale, step with your left foot between your hands. Right knee goes down to the floor. Arms over your head. As you inhale, low lunge. Belly in, hips forward. Exhale, release your hands down to the floor and extend your left leg. Half splits, flexing the left foot, stretching through the calf. Inhale, bend your left knee. And as you exhale, step back, plank pose. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Inhale, open your chest. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, walk your hands towards your feet, slowly, slowly. You're gonna bend your knees, and with your peace sign fingers, grab your big toes from the outside. Keep your belly on your thighs. With your inhale, lengthen your spine, look forward. As you exhale, bend your elbows sideways, belly to your thighs, pull your feet towards you, relax your neck. Try to keep your belly on your thighs and extend your legs at the same time. With your inhale, you can bend your knees a little, lengthen your spine, create some space in your hips. And as you exhale again, pulling your feet towards you, belly to the thighs, coming into your forward fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, pulling your feet towards you, strong engagement in your arms, in your whole body. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, pulling your feet towards you. Inhale, looking forward. Exhale, walk your hands back to your downward facing dog. With your next inhale, lift your right leg up towards the ceiling. Come to your left tippy toes. And as you exhale, with control, step your right foot between your hands. Bring your left knee down to the floor, coming into your low lunge, just like we did before. You're going to take your block this time. If you don't have a block, you can take a book. If you don't have anything, then you'll just do it without that. It's fine too. Step your foot on the block. And then bring your hands to your lower back. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, send your hips forward. Keep your inner thighs squeezed. You don't want to collapse in this position. You don't want to send your leg to the side. Keep it all square. Hands at your lower back, pressing your hips forward, opening the chest, lifting your chest high for 3, keeping the belly in. Inhale. Exhale, sending your hips a tiny bit more forward. 2, inhale. Exhale. Last breath in. And out. Release your hands down to the floor. Remove the block, place it to the side, and with your exhale, you're going to extend your right leg, coming to your half splits. If you cannot reach the floor in this position, again, take a block or just keep the knee slightly bent, but keep the foot flexed. We're going to point and flex a few times. So you're going to point your toes, and then flex again, and again, point and flex. Keeping the legs strong, so the thighs should be always engaged. And flex. 3 more. Point and flex. 2. Point and flex. Last one. Point and flex. You're going to stay in the flex position. Inhale, bend your back, look up, curl tilt. Exhale, belly in, chin to chest. Inhale, bend your back, look up. Exhale, belly in, chin to chest. Make sure your hips are in one line. Inhale, bend your back, look up. Exhale, belly in, chin to chest, rounding your back. Inhale, come into neutral position. Place your right foot on the floor. Step with your left foot a little bit forward. Coming into your pyramid pose. So your right foot is looking forward, your left foot is turned slightly to the inside. Your hips are in one line. You can place your hand to your lower back to feel if your hips are in one line. And again, if you cannot reach the floor, make sure to use your block or 2 blocks. Always, always use your props. With your inhale, you're going to lengthen. With your exhale, you're going to try to send your chest forward. So again, it's not forward to the knee, it's the chest forward. Inhale. Exhale, chest forward. Inhale. Exhale, chest forward. 2 more breaths. Inhale. And exhale. Last breath in. And out. Inhale, looking forward. Bring your hands down on the floor and just step your feet back. Coming to your plank pose. Bend your elbows, chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Inhale, open your chest. Exhale, downward facing dog. With your next inhale, lift your left leg up towards the ceiling. Keep your left knee straight, hips square. Come high to your right tippy toes and then step with your left foot between your hands, bringing your right knee down to the floor. Just like before, you're going to take your block or a book or whatever you have and then step your left foot on your block. Keeping your hips in one line, bring your hands to your lower back, send your hips forward, squeezing through your inner thighs, keeping your legs engaged. Make sure your right heel is looking up towards the ceiling. Lift your chest higher. Holding for 3 breaths, squeezing through your inner thighs, pressing your hips forward. Inhale. Exhale. 2, inhale. Exhale. Last breath in. And out. Okay. Release your hands down. Remove the block. Place it to the side. With your exhale, you're going to extend your left leg, flex your left foot, coming to your half splits. Again, remember to use any props you need. If you need to support yourself, flex the foot. And then point your toe, keeping your spine long. Flex. And point, keeping the hips in one line. Flex. You can always place your hands to your lower back to check the hip situation. 2. And point. Last one. Flex, keeping the leg engaged. And point. Flex your left foot. We're going to bend the back and look up, cow tilt. Exhale, belly in, round your back. Cat. Inhale, bend your back, look up, tailbone up, chin up, cow tilt. Exhale, belly in, chin to chest, push the floor away from round your back. Inhale, bend your back, look up. Exhale, belly in, chin to chest, and round. Inhale, come into a neutral position. And as you exhale, you're going to place your left foot down and step with your right foot forward a little bit. So that your left foot is looking forward, your right foot slightly to the inside. Keeping your hips in one line, hands on the floor or on the blocks with your inhale, lengthen. Exhale, chest reaching forward. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, chest reaching forward. 3 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. 2, inhale. Exhale, keeping your legs engaged. Pull up on your kneecaps. Inhale, last one. And out. Inhale, looking forward, hands down on the floor. As you exhale, you're going to step your feet back and come to your plank pose. As you exhale, bend your elbows, chaturanga. Upward facing dog, inhale, open your chest. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. And then exhale. With your next inhale, you're going to lift your right leg up towards the ceiling. Keep it straight. Exhale, bring your right knee towards your right shoulder, shoulders over your hands. Try to move really slow and with control. Make the knee touch the shoulder if you can. And then place your right foot next to your right hand, coming into a lizard pose. Keep your right leg strong, right knee away from the floor, and just move around. We can move back and forth. You can move in circles. Just like in the downward facing dog, try to see what feels good and then try to do that. 3 more breaths. If you want to, you can flex your right foot, 90-degree angle, nothing weird, but 90 degrees, and open your right thigh. Open up your right hip. 2. And 1. You can drop your left knee to the floor. You can stay here. Keep your spine nice and long, chest open. If you can and want, bring your block underneath your forearms and come down to your forearms. Make sure this is not happening. If your hips are lifting up and you're rounding, then it's better to stay on your hands. If you don't need the block, if your hips are quite open, you can just come down to your forearms. Try to bring your chest more forward. 3 breaths here. Inhale. Exhale. 2, inhale. Exhale. Last breath in. And out. With your inhale, you're going to come back to your hands. Place your right foot down on the floor. Bend your left knee. You're going to reach with your right arm up to the ceiling and then back towards your foot. If you cannot grab your foot, then take a strap or a belt or whatever you have, bikini, whatever, and wrap it around your foot. You're going to press with the foot against the hand for 3 seconds. 2. And 1. Stop pressing with the foot. Now use the hand and try to draw your heel closer towards your back. Opening the right shoulder up. Releasing your hips down to the floor. 3 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. 2. Inhale. Exhale. Last breath in and out. Slowly release your left foot, hands down to the floor. You're going to pivot or just turn a little and come to your Skandasana. Your left foot is flexed, left toes pointing up towards the ceiling. If you cannot come this deep because of your Achilles, you can be higher. Yeah, that's not a problem. Come as far as you can and then hold it here. If you can come all the way down, you can sit. Trying to bring your chest forward just like before. Make sure your right knee isn't falling to the inside. Press down through the outer edge of your right foot, just like we did in Malasana, in the little squat at the beginning. Toes pointing up. Chest reaching forward. Inhale. Exhale. If you want to add a lateral stretch to this position, you can. You don't have to. You can stay here, but if you want to, you can place your left elbow down on the floor and reach with your right arm up and then over towards your left foot. It's not important that you grab your foot. Keep your chest open and just reach into this space, elongating the right side of your body. For 3, wherever you are, hold. 2, and 1. Inhale, slowly coming up. Hands down to the floor. You're going to step back, plank pose. Bend your elbows, chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Inhale. Exhale. Downward facing dog. With your next inhale, lift your left leg up. Straight left knee. Exhale, slowly bring your left knee towards your left shoulder. Holding. And then slowly and with control, placing your left foot next to your left hand, coming into your lizard pose. Move around in your lizard pose. Any way you want to, moving back and forth, moving in half circles, in circles, doing whatever feels nice. You can also flex your left foot, open up your left hip a little more, let your left knee fall to the outside. For 3, 2, and 1. You're going to drop your right knee and again come into the static hold. Just like you did on the previous side, do the exact same thing. So either staying on your hands, chest forward, or taking a block, placing your block underneath your forearms, or skipping the block, just coming down to your forearms, chest forward. 3 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. 2, inhale. Exhale. Last breath in. And out. Your next inhale, come back to your hands. You're going to bend your right knee and reach with your left arm up and over towards the foot. Again, if you cannot reach the foot, no worries, just wrap something around the leg and then press with your foot against the hand for 3, 2, and 1. Stop pressing with the foot. Use your hand, pulling it closer towards your butt. Keep your right shoulder away from your ear. Don't collapse. Open your left shoulder high. Release your hips down to the floor. 3, inhale. Exhale. 2, inhale. Exhale. Last breath in. And out. Slowly releasing. Bringing both hands down to the floor. You're gonna move into your Skandasana. Flexing your right foot. Right toes are pointing up towards the ceiling. Left toes are pointing forward. Again, if you cannot come all the way down, stay wherever you can stay. Use your hands to help you. Bring your hands down to the floor and try to send your chest forward. So you can stay here. Again, make sure your knees not falling to the inside. Press down through the other edge of your left foot, right toes looking up at the ceiling. If you did the lateral stretch on the previous side, you can do it as well. Place your right elbow down to the floor. Lift with your left arm up. And then over towards your right leg. Kick through your right heel. Stretch your left arm even more, lifting your left shoulder higher. Chin away from the chest. For 3, 2, inhale. Reaching more to the side. Exhale. Last breath in. And out. Inhale, slowly coming up. Bringing both hands down to the floor. You're going to step back, plank pose. Bend your elbows, chaturanga. Upward facing dog, inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. And an exhale. Inhale, look forward. You're going to step with your feet between your hands. Cross your ankles. Sit down. Bring your legs forward. And lay down onto your back. Bring your feet together. Open up your knees. Supta Baddha Konasana. You can keep your hands on your inner thighs. Just gently resting, not pulling anywhere. Two more breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Blink your eyes open. And then slowly close your knees. Bring your feet hip width apart. You're going to take your block, if you have it, and place it between your thighs. Not between your knees, but between your thighs. Hands next to your body, palms looking down. With your exhale, start lifting your hips, lower back, middle back, upper back, away from the floor. You can stay here. Or if you want to, you can interlace your fingers behind your back and come with your shoulder blades even closer together. Holding. 3 breaths. Lifting the hips higher. Releasing your butt, but lifting the hips up. 2, inhale. Exhale. Last breath in. And out. Slowly releasing your hips down to the floor, removing the block. Hug your knees into your chest. Move to the right and to the left. And then go with your hands between your knees. Grab your feet from the outside, coming into your happy baby. Your feet are pointing towards the ceiling. Move to the right and to the left. If you have the space and you want to, you can try to extend your legs a little. Right leg, left leg, right leg. Maybe both at the same time. Bring a bit more stretch towards the inner thighs. And bringing your feet together. Trying to pull them a tiny bit closer towards you. Keeping your spine on the floor. Release. Bring your knees together. With your exhale, you're going to let your knees fall to the right. You might have to move your hips a little to the side. Extend your left leg to the left, left shoulder on the floor. Bring your left ear down to the floor for a gentle twist. Inhale. Exhale. 2, inhale. Exhale. Last breath in. And out. Inhale, coming to the center. Then changing the sides of knees together. Move your hips to the right, let your knees fall over to the left. Extending your right arm to the right. Right shoulder on the floor, looking towards your right finger. 3 breaths. Two, inhale. Exhale. Last breath in. And out. Inhale, coming to the center. Again, doing your happy baby. Grab your feet from the outside. But this time, we're going to roll up and down, up and down, up and down. Until you come into a seated position. Try to hold your balance. And then slowly extending your right leg to the right. Extending your left leg to the left. You don't have to extend your legs. Just try to keep balance and strong core. Bringing your feet together. Bend your knees. Navasana. Open up the chest. If you want to, and you can, extend your legs. 3, 2, and 1. Releasing your feet down. Move a bit back on your yoga mat for your forward fold. This time, if you have the block, take the block. If you don't have the block, then don't. Inhale. Exhale, reaching forward, 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 forward. Inhale, straight back. Exhale, reaching forward. If you need to bend your knees, bend your knees. And then inhale, high. Exhale, forward. And release. Inhale, coming up. Exhale into your Savasana. Take as much time as you need to. You can pause the video. Stay here for as long as you can. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, let it out. Deep breath in, inhale. Exhale out. Last time in. And out.